In other news, almost half the South African population is believed to be either obese or overweight. The Obesity Medicine Association advocates for treatment plans based on 4 pillars: nutrition therapy, physical activity, behavioural modification and medical intervention. Now, for those who choose to manage their weight holistically, it is a lifelong journey. Newzroom Afrika's Vaylen Kirtley filed this report.
Obesity is a complex condition with growing numbers of individuals suffering worldwide. It's not simply about carrying extra weight, but rather the health complications that it brings. According to the World Obesity Atlas, 78% of non-communicable disease-related deaths are linked to being overweight and obese, and they occurred in lower and middle-income countries last year. While the WHO recognizes obesity as a disease, there are some academics who disagree with this categorization. The decision to tackle their problematic weight naturally proves that holistic interventions can be effective for some. Ntombi Mongwe decided in December 2022, at 127 kilograms, that it was time for a change. Through clean eating and intermittent fasting, she dropped 49 kilograms in a year, a feat which has seen her finally get a hold of the hypertension she's been managing for a decade.
After I lost too much weight, I went back to my doctor, and then I was doing a regular checkup with my doctor, and then my blood pressure was stable, and then for the period of 3 months, he reduced the strength for the medication to the lower dose. And then I went back after 3 months to check my blood pressure. It was also stable. And then after that, my doctor discontinued me from taking medication, but I'm monitoring my blood pressure on a daily basis here at home. I've got the machine. And since I started the lifestyle of eating healthy and exercising, my blood pressure is stable now.
According to neuroendocrinologist Dr. Giles Yeu of Cambridge University, losing weight is more than just mind over matter.
Your brain, everyone's brain, hates it when they lose weight. It doesn't matter your starting point. You could start from a point where you are athletic versus someone who's not athletic, couch potato type phenotype. The moment you lose a little bit of weight, we're talking even a few pounds. I'm not even talking, you're talking about a stone. Even if you lost 5 pounds, what happens in your brain is your brain is used to you or me carrying a certain amount of weight. The moment your weight starts to go down as an adult, it goes, hey, this is a big flag comes up. This is reducing my chance of survival. This is what the brain thinks. And so what it does is it begins to use strategies, not conscious, nothing to do with our brain, anything like that, to drag us back up, kicking and screaming to where we were before. First of all, it makes us hungry. Okay, so it makes us hungry. And second, it actually very, very secretively lowers your metabolism ever so slightly, so that even eating exactly the same thing, you are now storing more than you're burning.
Dr. Cleve McIntosh says the key is becoming more conscious about what triggers the hunger, more conscious about what you're eating, and using tools to build in pauses that give you a moment to connect mind and body.
My experience is that most of my patients know how to eat in healthy ways, and even people who are overweight or obese can often write the textbooks on what's healthy food and what a healthy food plan would look like. They really don't need more information on healthy eating. What they need is a way to respond differently in the situations in which they repeatedly make poor food choices. And they know what those situations are, and they know that they keep making those choices that are self-harming. And yet they often feel powerless to change their automatic response to food. And so what mindful eating does, or bringing mindfulness into making a food choice, is it gives a whole new range of options to someone who before was stuck in a very predictable path of choosing the same food over and over again, even when they didn't want to. By connecting with the feelings, they can take a few steps back from that automatic decision-making process that they've got stuck in, and find that they somehow are able to start making choices that is much more consistent with what they want for their weight and for how they want to feel.
Psychology, emotions, and food are closely related, something that support groups such as Overeaters Anonymous understand. The 12-step program to recovery was developed on the same principles outlined by Alcoholics Anonymous, and for this group of women, it's a lifeline in managing their weight.
I joined probably 20 years ago now. There was a little leaflet at the local supermarket, and I still remember how I glanced around, nobody was looking, and then I grabbed the little leaflet, and it took me a while. I think it took me a few days to get the courage up to actually phone the number, and then I phoned, and I thought it was just another weigh and pay group for losing weight, and then when I got there, I realized, no, this is completely different. And then they suggested, to stay for 6 meetings before you decide whether it's for you. And that's what I did. I just followed that instruction. And by the 6th meeting, I had asked somebody to be my sponsor. And a sponsor is just somebody who takes you through the 12 steps, it's just another fellow who is also a compulsive eater, and they hold your hand and you can ask them questions and they help you. They explain how the steps work and they help you through it.
A while ago, I made an adjustment to my food plan. The adjustment was necessary as I was eating my favorite cake all by myself, the whole thing. Then I would go to the shop to buy more to replace the previous one, so that everyone would get a slice. But I just ended up eating the second one by myself again. I stole the cake and ate it when no one was looking. I used to lie, steal, and cheat to get food. One night I went to church and the petrol tank was low. So I told a friend and church leader that I didn't know how I was going to get home that night. He gave me some money for petrol, and guess what I did? I hit up the first drive-thru. That was my disease in all its glory. Stealing, lying, and cheating. Now sponsoring is keeping me grounded.
OA opened a lot of doors for me. OA opened my heart. OA opened my creative part. OA helped me to give service, to help others who struggle with the same struggles. OA made me a better person. It's not only a diet physical program, it's a physical, emotional and spiritual. And really OA, not OA per se, but God through OA, through the 12 steps. And I always emphasize the spiritual solution, because that is where the huge change comes about. A spiritual awakening that changes your personality forever and ever. You'll never be the same again.
Experts say the journey to natural weight loss and weight management is a journey to understand yourself better and rediscover yourself. Then, weight loss becomes just one of a number of benefits. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Vaylen Kirtley in Cape Town.